Hey there, and welcome back to Cosmic Crypto. In this video, we're going to be talking about Litecoin, LTC. Let's go. All right, welcome back to the channel. We are looking at Litecoin on the weekly time frame, and I'm just going to do a quick refresh here since it's been a while since I've made a video. Going to zoom out here. I am on the weekly time frame. Litecoin has had these lines, these resistance lines here, and they're basically doing the exact same thing. And if you put a channel to it, I mean, these are identical. I can take this line right here, I can move it over, and you can see that it's like a perfect fit. Absolutely identical. And we've been following this for quite some time. Litecoin's also in this horizontal channel here. And I've noticed a couple things here, and this one was very important, is these horizontal or vertical pink lines here, and then the green line. Okay, so the green line represents the Litecoin halving. The pink line represents when Litecoin hits its top and then falls roughly 50 to 70% after the halving, or before the halving, actually. But what's really interesting about these lines is if you start at the halving, and you measure over to the pink line where the top comes in, you're looking at, excuse me, get the tool here, exactly 49 days. And if you go to this halving right here, you measure over to the pink line, 49 days. So what I did a long time ago is I put where the Litecoin halving is, and then I measured back 49 days. And I put this pink line here, and that is exactly where we are right now. On the weekly time frame, so actually on the daily time frame, we've already passed it. And so what's also interesting here for Litecoin is we were in this rising channel here, as you can see, and we have just now, right before the 49 days, we broke down from that channel. And actually on the daily time frame, yeah, it was 2 days before the 49 days. We broke down from this channel, and now we're getting the retest of that channel. Now, last time we had the halving, Litecoin broke down and went straight down and fell all the way down almost to the previous low. Litecoin held the 786, it wicked down low, but then it still held the 786 fib. So I took a fib from the bottom to the top, and it came down, held that 786. Now I do actually think it probably would have held right around here, just below the 618, if it wasn't for the C19 crash, which happened right here. It probably would have came down to the 618. And so my expectations for Litecoin during this time frame here, and I said in my last video, once we reach this pink line, I'm going to sell 100% of my Litecoin, and that is exactly what I did. I sold 100% of my Litecoin right as we were breaking down from this channel. I bought my Litecoin way down here, around $47 to $50. So I could have made better profit if I sold at $100, but I was really hoping that we would break form here and break out of this resistance line, the white resistance line here, which it doesn't look like we're going to do. We kept getting resistance at the 200 weekly EMA, which is the blue line here. You can see we hit it once, hit it twice, hit it a third time, and then we fell. Now, the other thing that we're seeing here is multiple things here that's very bearish for Litecoin. Is you can see that the RSI is falling, and the trend directional here is falling as well. The volume is pretty much non-existent. And we've also formed, if you're into patterns, we've formed a head and shoulders here. And we are holding on for dear life on this head and shoulders, or depending on how you draw it, we could be already below it. The head and shoulders pattern target from this top here to, let's just say right there, is coincidentally right around that 618 fib right here. So, I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, but right now I might be looking, me personally, at shorting Litecoin while everybody else is talking about buying Litecoin because the halving is coming and there's going to be that big pump before the halving is what they're all telling you that I've seen on Twitter and on YouTube. And I just do not think that's happening. I think we've got the head and shoulders pattern. I think we've broken down from this trend line. I think that previous history with Litecoin with the 49 days before the halving is the breakdown, which is very strange. And also following the exact same pattern from these white diagonal lines here is you get one touch, another touch, a breakdown, and then you finally break through. So you got one touch, this touch, I don't know if that really counts. But then you get the other touch, a breakdown right at the halving, and then you finally break through. And so in my previous videos, I was really hoping that we'd break above this and get all the way up to about $140. That obviously didn't happen, and I think in my past couple of videos I said that I did not think it was going to happen anymore, that the breakdown was more likely, and that is exactly what we're seeing right here. Now, if you do catch this retracement, it already came up. Let me move this pink line for a second here. It's already come up and done a retest here of this breakdown. Now that could be obviously could be invalidated if we break back into this rising channel here. But from where I see it, it just looks like it's getting weaker and weaker and it's going to fall. But I could be wrong, could break back into this channel, but we really aren't getting anywhere until we break above this 200 EMA. If we get a weekly candle above the 200 EMA and it closes above there, 2 weeks, I'm going to say, because we already had this 1 week back over here, back on April 10th. We broke above the 200, and then the very next week we crashed down below it. I'd say we have to get at least 1, maybe 2 weeks above the 200 EMA before I think we're going to move any further to the upside. But right now we're looking at, if you do catch this short, if that's what you're looking to do, and it does come down to just the 618, that's a 23% short right there. So I don't know, just pay attention to that. I do think that the retest, it could go a little bit higher to continue to retest this this channel line here. But I do think eventually that there's going to be a breakdown. And then, I mean, let me move this, my line back here. I don't want to lose that. And time tells us that we don't know when the breakout is actually going to happen. The one thing you need to pay attention to is when we do get back to this diagonal line here, the white diagonal line, once we get that breakout, that's usually the sign to go all in on Litecoin. If you're into Litecoin, and usually, I mean, the last time we did that, we had a 600 and almost 30% move to the upside. I think we're going to do roughly the same. And actually, I kind of think that this time might be the time that Litecoin breaks above this resistance here on the $400 level, and we do reach, my target is actually around $1,000, $1,200. 800 is the first target, then anywhere between $800 and $1,200 is really my target for Litecoin. But in the shorter term, I do think we're going to have a breakdown down to the 618, roughly just around $60, maybe a little bit below. We could also get that wick down to the 786, so pay attention to that as well, which would bring us all the way down to $50. And if you're really into Litecoin and you're okay with just a 200% move, putting buy orders, and this isn't financial advice, this is just something that I would probably do if I was going to, and I actually still might do it, since I already sold all my Litecoin. I sold it all around, about $77, and I can buy it all back, hopefully around $51. Litecoin, in my opinion, is a good solid hold, not for major gains, but for just steady gains, because Litecoin in its history has been very steady. It's one of the coins that will not be named a security, and it's also a coin that it's going to be around forever, I think. So yeah, it's just a good hold for Litecoin if you're not looking for huge gains, but just, I mean, a huge gain, 630% gain. That's pretty big. But yeah, if you're not looking for those 10, 30, 40 X's, Litecoin is usually pretty solid, you know, other than Bitcoin. So that's pretty much what I got for Litecoin. I do think that Litecoin is going to break down further. We already broke down from, there's a lot of bearish signals coming in right now. I mean, I could be proven wrong, but right now it leans way more bearish than bullish in my opinion. That's pretty much all I got for Litecoin. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you later.